Hi guys, so this week for my book I read Flora and Ulysses, the Illuminated Adventures. The author is Kate DiCamillo and the illustrator is KG Campbell. The publisher is Walker Books. The copyright date is 2014. It's a children's literature book with about 250 pages and it's appropriate for grade levels 3 through 5, I would say. So, this book, the two main characters are Flora and Ulysses. Things change for Flora when her neighbor sucks up a squirrel while vacuuming. Yes, vacuuming her lawn. Flora rushes over to help her neighbor save the squirrel, and when the squirrel comes back to life after Flora gives it mouth to mouth, he has superpowers. Flora decides to name him Ulysses, and he kind of becomes her best friend, but her mom wants to get rid of the squirrel and is out to get him. She even asks her dad, who is now divorced from her mom, to kill the squirrel, so he's got a shovel in his car when he comes to pick Flora and Ulysses up. But when she's with her dad decides that it's okay, and so whatever makes Flora happy, the squirrel can stay because he also saved her dad's life, and that was kind of a big thing. So whenever Flora and Ulysses get back home, the mom decides to kidnap Ulysses with the intentions of killing him. Ultimately, Ulysses ends up escaping and fleeing to a safe house. And that's when Flora and the gang show up with their search party when they were trying to find Ulysses. And her mom has to explain kind of what's gone on and why it's gone on. But ultimately, Flora thinks that her mom wanting to kill the squirrel is a way of like proving that she doesn't love her. But it's the exact opposite. It kind of helps to prove her love for her. And I think that ties into the theme of the book, which deals a lot with good versus evil. I think this book is good for children because it ties in a lot of like serious issues and a lot of maybe even dark problems that kids may face, but it's also fun and laughable, and there's lots of entertaining parts of the book like vacuuming your lawn and a squirrel having superpowers. And so I think that if you can focus on kind of the balance of the laughable but also the serious problems that it faces, like this young child who's very cynical because her parents are getting divorced and everything else, that's very relatable for kids. And it also ties into the good versus evil. No one's motives are as they seem. You can't say for certain what somebody was trying to do. Flora thought her mom didn't love her because she wanted to kill Ulysses, but she wanted to get rid of the squirrel because of how much she loved her. She didn't think it would be a natural reaction, like relationship, and something that Flora should experience. And so I think that all of these problems that kind of the book talks about are very relatable for children. For the activity, I would ask students to create a comic book superhero kind of like Ulysses, and I would want them to incorporate images and word bubbles to represent kind of the text of the character and what they're saying. So when the students finish their comic strip, I would want them to present and share with the class what they had done and kind of who their superhero was and all that good stuff. And then these are the following questions I would ask them about it. How hard is it to write in such a limited space? How do the words and pictures work together? Did you choose to use color, black and white? And was this comic book activity hard or easy to do? Because I think depending on how you feel about the activity says a lot about your learning style. And then I would also want to hear how their superhero compared to Ulysses and kind of what their train of thought was there. Comic books are a great way of expression, but there's also so much that you have to fit into so little because the pictures and the words have to tie in so well. And so I would be interested to see what they would say and do. Thanks.